My goal is two things. I want you at the end of this presentation to say, where have you been all my life? Or somebody needs to call the authorities and lock this man up. He's a danger to the public health. Okay? I want one or two responses. I don't want, well, I'll think about it. Okay? I want to cause significant cognitive dissonance. Because you need to. Okay? Because you're not winning the war on obesity and diabetes. Are you? And it's not your fault. Okay? It's not your fault. You haven't been sort of given the right tools, I think. CRP levels for normal weight individuals as a reference. CRP levels nearly doubled with an increase in each weight class. C-reactive protein is a marker of generalized body inflammation. It's a simple little blood test. C-reactive protein is not as good as C-reactive protein HS, which means highly specific, which is what I use in evaluating people. It's more expensive, but it's useful. Highly sensitive. What he says is, as you get bigger, your inflammatory markers get bigger. Okay? The more obese you are, the more inflamed you are. There's a direct correlation between increasing obesity class and the presence of comorbidities, diabetes, hypertension, and other things. Okay? So when you hear the word obesity, when you hear the word diabetes, think of the word inflammation. Inflammation is a natural body response to an attack. If you get bit by your dog and you don't take care of it, it gets inflamed. It gets red, it gets hot, okay, and it gets painful. Okay, that's the same process. The Defense Department calls forth the resources to attack whatever is coming on it. Okay? It's a natural body response. It's not abnormal, it's normal. Okay? Epidemic inflammation. Now, obesity is primarily a disorder of energy balance. And I'm going to show you that if that's all you think about, you're going to lose the war. If all you think about is energy balance. But anyway, epidemic inflammation. Now, this is from the CDC website. This is the current thinking that overweight and obesity result from an energy imbalance. I want to tell you, that's seldom the case. That's why the interventions don't work. Okay? The obvious, if you eat less and exercise more, makes sense, doesn't it? It's easy. It's a common narrative. But if you were to stand outside at 6 in the morning until about 8, you would see the sun move across the sky. And it would be obvious that the sun moves and you're still. It is not obvious that you're spinning 1,000 miles an hour on a rock that's moving faster than that through the universe. It's not immediately obvious. You have to have a different frame of reference. And this is what my job today is, to give you a different frame of reference. Okay? It is only partially true. It is accurate, but only partially true, and almost never relevant about energy balance. Okay? And I'll show you why. Because if energy balance was the key, all we need to do is get people to exercise and eat less. And it ought to work. If it's simple energy balance, why doesn't it work? Okay? Well, the question is, does it work? I'm getting ahead of myself. Well, dietary lifestyle therapy provides less than 5 kilograms of weight loss after 2 to 4 years. 10 pounds. For all that work and all that grief and all those rice cakes you know, and stuff like that, okay? Pharmacologic therapy provides a little more, okay? If you know, there are medications like Ally. If you want anal leakage as a sudden, unexpected side effect, then, you know, that's for you, okay? You don't know it. That's the tricky thing, is you don't have any warning that anal leak. So wear dark clothing if you wear Ally. If you use Ally. You really have to have somebody, he talked about somebody who you trust to tell you that. Anyway. Surgical therapy, which is what I had, okay, in 1997, helps. But about a third of the people gain the weight back, and I got about 20% of my clients have had one or more bariatric surgeries and are just in the same state and worse. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2007. A consistent observation spanning almost 5 decades is the modest weight loss, rarely greater than 5 to 10 kilograms at 52 weeks, observed with long-term low-calorie diets. 50 years of it. If it worked, 50 years would show that it works. Now, it does work in some people, okay? And it does work for a short period of time. But I don't think that's what you're here for, is the short term, okay? Because the long-term effects, that's why it's a chronic relapsing sort of condition, is because you think about it as energy balance. Here's a chart, okay, that they put together from all the studies. The top line is somebody trying to lose weight on their own. Everybody gets a little weight loss, and then, you know, 2 years later, they're pretty much back where they started. The middle line is commercial diets. You know, all the things you hear about, you know, that Kirstie Alley and Oprah and all those people. That really worked for them, didn't it? The most interesting part, and Oprah said last year, she said, you know, I was mean when I told people all you need to do is take your 11,000 steps and watch what you eat. She admits it. That's not, and she's got Dr. Oz sitting there. I mean, I figured that one. Anyway, the best, longest one was placebo plus lifestyle in a study of medications. I want here to tell you, as a doctor, there is absolutely, positively nothing wrong with placebo. I use it all the time. I count on it. It's a very powerful intervention. It's not a trick, okay? And you'll kind of see why in a little bit, okay? Do you see what I'm talking about here? Does this fit with your experience? Yeah. You have a hard job, okay? You're going to a gunfight with a knife, okay?